this is a circle within a circle within a circle. And this is what Simon Sinek calls the golden circle. As Bob Dylan famously said, and they have since changed, and people don't care so much what you do. They care why you're doing what you're doing. If you own a business, or you want to own a business, or even if you're just curious about how to find your passion and purpose in life, this golden circle holds the answer. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. This was a book that I was drawn to. I was so lost. I was so confused. I couldn't find my passion. I couldn't find my purpose. It didn't seem like it was absolutely anywhere in the world. And the title of this book drew me in. And it was not at all what I expected it to be. The question is, why do you get out of bed every morning? And why should anyone care? In this book breakdown, I'm going to share the main lessons of the book, which are pretty straightforward. Then I'm going to share the rating of the book, and then the contrarian takes, the things I don't like about this book so much, and then the actionable takeaways, and of course, how you can find your why in your life, in your business. There are two ways to influence behavior in people. Not only are you maybe trying to start a business and you want to influence people into buying your product or your service, but you are also getting influenced by things all over the place. We're always being sold to, and seeing these things, knowing them, and then being able to see them in the world helps tremendously. You'll be aware of the tactic that's being used to manipulate your brain, because these work at a subconscious level that we don't even recognize unless we're really paying attention. I highly recommend the book Influence by Robert Cialdini. Incredible book. So the manipulation tactics are quite simple. You'll see these all the time. Price drops, discounted prices, time limits. You'll see a countdown. You'll go to a website and you'll see the timer ticking down, like you need to finish your purchase within 59 minutes or it's gone forever. Oh no. These things only work once or twice, and they don't always work for the long term, as he calls it in his other book, The Infinite Game. Finding inspiration through your why. It's why you're doing whatever it is you're doing. That's not just making money. It's not about you. It's about something bigger than you. And once we have loyalty, we can create a movement. And this is what we see now, a huge return back to a desire for community and connection. We all want to gather around a similar idea with people who think the same way that we do about bigger issues. We want meaning in our lives. Working hard for something you don't love is called stress, and working for something you do love is called passion. It was Mark Twain who said the two most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Now this is it right here, the golden circle, finding out your why. Pretty much every company or person knows what they do. You know what product and service you sell. Next is how. It's how you get things done. How do you make your sales? This is something I've never been able to forget, and that is your why is your origin story, and it never changes. And it's consistent from when you're young until whenever. And this is what evokes feelings in you and other people. It's that emotion. This is where the emotional center of the brain is, in the limbic center, and this is how it's formed. Most businesses and most people don't know why they're doing what they're doing. The why is where you get your inspiration. The reason you're waking up, the reason you're enthusiastic and you want to be a leader of your business or your life is because of your why. You need to get so clear on why you do what you do. This sticks with you. It's like your mission statement. It's the engine that keeps everything running. Most of us always focus on this, whether it's in life or business. It's being disciplined, sitting down, executing the actions, doing the thing that we're supposed to do. If you have the right clarity of why, then this should pretty much come easily. Your products and services should be consistent. People should know what it is that they're getting. And in the book, he talks a lot about Apple, maybe a little bit too much, but it's all about Apple, Apple, Apple. And the whole thing is that Steve Jobs was always very consistent. You always knew what you were going to get. When I think of why, I always think of Elon Musk. People think, you know, it's about going to space and going to Mars, but it's not that. He is all about the preservation of humanity. And that's why he does what he does. Gaining clarity of why, ironically, is not the hard part. It is the discipline to trust one's gut, to stay true to one's purpose, cause, or beliefs. remaining completely in balance and authentic is the most difficult part. The single best way to decide anything is to use your why as a filter. Now, these are people not throwing up on you. This is you, and you own a business, and somebody here is like, oh yeah, you need to have Oreos in your business. This person says you need to have M&Ms in your business. This person says you need to have celery in your business, and everyone's telling you something different. And you're like, okay, Oreos could actually help your business grow. M&Ms could help your business be more fluid and make more sales. Celery could definitely help. But what if your why was to make people healthy? That was your whole reason for doing everything, is you got yourself healthy and you want to get other people healthy. So now everything comes in here and it makes the decision so simple. You don't go into the store and you don't buy everything and try it out. You just simply ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? And does this match your why? Let your why be your filter for everything that you do, and you'll have the easiest decisions you've ever made. Oh yeah, if you like these book breakdowns, check the link down below and join my newsletter. Each week I send out great advice on how to change your life, book lessons, travel, AI stuff. Join, you won't regret it. I'm making more and more of these videos, so if there are any book breakdowns that you want to see, leave it down below in the comments and I will make that book breakdown for you, specifically for you if that's what you want. And if I haven't read the book, I will read it. And let me know down in the comments if you're interested. I'm gonna start going live Saturday, 10 a.m. Thailand time. So if you were interested in that, you can join starting this week. Bring your questions and I'll do the best I can to help you out. The successful business secret. This is something that after I read it, I could never ever forget it. Each business at the top levels needs the how and what type of person and the why type of person. Does it always have to work that way? No, not necessarily. Of course, you can have a solopreneur business and just a very, very small team. You don't need this exactly, but this formula does seem to work incredibly well. You need the visionary, the big thinker, somebody who thinks outside the box, but then somebody who kind of like reins it back into reality and what is practical and what can get done. So I just always think of that. If you're going to start a really big business and you want to grow and scale, try to think of these types of people and figure out which one you are. Okay, and this last part, it is the infinite game. You don't play the game to win the game. You play the game to keep the game going. And again, this is not just for business, this is for life. What is your legacy? What are you here for? What do you want to leave behind? Again, it doesn't have to be some big thing, big, huge business or company or monument or changing the world, but maybe your family, maybe your values. You build trust through your values and beliefs and your cause, and that is your why. If you have an impactful why, playing the game for the right reasons, people will become loyal. They will want to be a part of you and your journey and your business. When you compete against everyone else, no one wants to help you. But when you compete against yourself, everyone wants to help you. This is a 4 stars, very good out of 5. The book itself isn't really great, but the idea, the golden circle and understanding the why at a deeper level is worth it. This one actually surprised me because it was finding your why in business, and it just gives you a different angle and aspect to look at, and it is transferable to life. All right, here are my contrarian takes, the things I didn't like about the book. And the first one is the why obsession. I personally, and I know many other people, are obsessed with finding their passion and their purpose. Here are the 2 camps that I always come across. It's the life's task, the camp or the group of people that says, you're here for a single reason. There is something there. There's a passion, like it's there, you have it. You are alive for 16 hours a day. There's something that you're gravitating towards. There's something that occupies your mind. It's in there. The other camp is skills. You're good at something, you have some strengths, you can do something. And as you go in a direction, you will become more passionate because it will grow as you improve. It emerges, it kind of comes up as you get good at something. He says in Start With Why, it's your origin story, it never changes, it's there inside from childhood. And this is where it leads to an obsession. And I got caught in this for so long, for years, as I was just searching, like, what is it? And I became paralyzed. I didn't want to start something if it wasn't like my passion or purpose, like if that's not what I'm here for, and I couldn't figure it out. It's so easy to get paralyzed when you overthink this, when you think there's like one thing that you're on this planet for, you're never going to start because everything would have to be perfect and aligned, and it can cause you to take no action whatsoever. And that's where it becomes so difficult. But then this one also, if you're like, I don't know, I'm just kind of good at these things, and if you don't really think like passion is there or there's like a real purpose, then you might not want to get started either. So the simple middle ground, just follow your curiosity. I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I'm curious if I could do it. Maybe I'll try it. And then you just try those things. And then you kind of see how you feel in the moment. Of course, it will be tricky because when you first start, you're going to suck. I've said this before. When you start, you will be terrible. You have to accept that. But then you also have to believe, I think, that yeah, there is a passion and there is a purpose for you. There is something. You have this unique formula inside you, but the only way to find it is through curiosity and taking action. If you really worry too much about your why and you think that it will never change, I also believe that could be a problem. Things change. Why you did what you did in your 20s is different than why you did what you did in your 30s or will do what you do in your 30s. It's going to change over time, and I think we have to accept that. The next problem with the book is his examples are cherry-picked. He talks a ton about Apple. When you look at a company like Amazon, we're not like, why did you do what you do, Jeff Bezos? Why did you start Amazon? That's what we really care about. How come you started with books and then you changed to products? Why did you do that? Maybe we don't believe in your cause or belief. Or do we care like, I want this thing now, give it to me now. Click, 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 click. We like the feature that we can click one button and we can get something. Do we really care why? Number 3 is that the golden circle might be a little bit oversimplified. Just saying that people only buy why you do what you do, not necessarily true. It is kind of a combination of features, ease, convenience, price, all of those things that do matter as well. Just saying it's one specific thing, maybe in the infinite game, yes, but in the infinite game, people also care about money and ease and convenience. Now, number 4 is the one that I rambled on about for a while, and that is in Start With Why. He says, obviously, your why comes first, and then everything comes after that. How you do it, what you do, all of those things are influenced by your why. However, I would argue that sometimes in this case, you just need to start. You need to start, get the wheels going. Maybe you start just because you're curious about something, like I started making content. So I would argue that, especially in business, is when you start, maybe you start for the money or the fame or whatever, and then you realize like that's not the right thing to do, or it's not playing the long game, it's not going to last. And then maybe it morphs into what your real why is. The final part is how to find your why. If you made it this far, this is what you want to know. Now it's all coming out. You're gonna see how crazy of a person I really am. I was really, really lost. I'm not gonna lie. I had no idea. I was a teacher for about 12 years, and when I quit that, I literally just wandered around and did little things here and there for a couple of years. I had no clue. But then I finally started to look for my why. Why am I here? Why am I doing whatever it is am I doing? Why do I want to wake up? To do what? Research your past. I know this sounds wild, but ask some friends, ask some family, what were you like when you were a kid? Ask people what you're kind of good at. What would you come to me for help? Or if you had a problem, what could I help you with? What is something that I do that you think is like very unique or special? Again, this isn't necessarily your why. Your why comes from inside. It's a feeling that you get. It's just this emotion. It doesn't speak in words. That's also important, is that it's an emotion that you feel. But when other people tell you these things, maybe something will kind of bubble up of like, oh yeah, like I am good at that. I do enjoy that. Journal. But the thing is, no one ever really talks about how to journal. And there are so many different ways, and I have a million different methods. What I did was a simple mind map, like me in the middle, and then, you know, different little things that I enjoyed doing that like lit me up. What made me feel good when I was doing it. And I just kind of focused on the feeling of doing it, not what I thought I wanted, not what made money. Another thing you can do is journal about different time periods of your life. So from like 0 to 6, you could journal about these were the things that I remember feeling excited about. Then from 6 to 12 and 12 to 18, and then do that same thing over and over and see if there's anything that emerges. This is also one that actually helped me quite a bit. Again, I know a lot of these, some of these are looking outside of yourself, which Again, not always great, but there are hints and there are clues. So you want to look at maybe the YouTubers that you watch, a lot of their content. What is it that they do that you're so drawn towards? Okay, and this final one I will leave you with, it's that cliche one, is you need to take action in a direction and pay attention to how you feel. So it comes from both aspects. Yes, you can research your past and see what you were drawn towards as you were younger and things that lit you up and made you excited, but you also need to put that into a package and move in a direction with that. So here's the final question I want to leave you with. What motivates you to get out of bed every morning? Always do what you say you're going to do, and this is my why. Because I realized so long ago, I spent so much of my life saying I was gonna do something, I'll do it tomorrow, and then I never did it. Or an excuse would come up, or I would wanna do something different, and I just wouldn't stick to the plan. I just write the thing down, record the start with why video, and this is my why system. If I write it down, I have to do it. That's my why. Is to always do what I say I'm going to do, to have integrity as a human being and build trust with myself so I can build trust with other people and help them trust themselves.